Fat Bottom Betty or Sweet Jane? All right, this is not the video I intended to come out here and make this evening. I intended to make a video speaking on all the people in the fitness industry, or all the competitive bodybuilders, fitness competitors and such that have died recently, retired bodybuilders or whatever. There's a lot to be said about that, man. There's a lot to talk about how not to die. And then there's no surety in that, but there's a lot of preventative things that your mind needs to look to. You need to change that mindset. It needs to be a whole different rationale, a whole different thing once you move into these different stages of life, if you want to hang around. And like I said, there's no guarantee then, but we're going to get into that, talk about that tomorrow night, because I got an email, and I don't know, sometimes that email shit works funny, man. It plugs these emails or follows these emails in these different places, and often it'll follow an email where it's not supposed to be, and then I just happen to stumble upon it. Such was the case with this email, and this email really spoke to me hugely, and it's something that I needed to reflect upon. So it's reinvigorated me in a lot of ways, and I hope that it lasts. I think that it will. Let me read the email and then we'll get into it, and I can take these glasses off. I'm not going to give the brother's name because he doesn't know I'm making a video, and he didn't give me permission to put him out there, so I don't think he would mind, but I guess I can put his first name in there. His first name's Cody. So Brother Cody, he wrote an email to me. He says, "Hey man, I stumbled across your YouTube channel. I was looking at biker lifestyle videos and saw your video on who's a real biker, and it was, in my opinion, spot on. I checked out your channel and saw your videos on bullying, and being a person who was bullied lots when I was younger, I couldn't stop watching and subscribed. Gotta be honest, when I saw your video about bullying and how you kind of sacrificed the little boy inside you, I teared up, because my story is so similar to yours, it's spooky, because I damn near killed mine. The 5 acts of kindness thing, brother, I have been doing that for a while, and it's changed my life. I had an epiphany. I went to a very close friend's funeral, and people from all over were there. Had to be 500 people. And then it hit me, how many people would remember me fondly if I died tomorrow? I thought about it. It was a little frightening. I've been doing a lot of the daily practices you talk about in your videos, and in a year, I now have my fiance, the greatest, most kindest woman I've ever met in my life. My work life has changed dramatically. It's funny how the universe works, man. I was at a friend's house sitting in the backyard, and my girl's friend looked at me and said, I feel comfortable around you. You have great energy, and it makes me and all of us want to be around it. That's the biggest compliment ever, and doing the lifestyle practices you talk about in your videos is what changed my life for the better. Keep up the good work, brother. P.S. Please excuse the lack of punctuation and poor grammar. I'm no Rhodes Scholar. Yeah, me neither, bro. So that's a really nice video, a really nice email to get. And especially right now, because, the past year I've been, lost my way. Past year I have just gone completely off the track. And that's not an easy thing. Well, it is an easy thing to admit right now, because I've seen this, I've realized this, I've concluded to this reality, I've concluded that this is the reality of the situation, that, yeah, I have gone off the rails. I'm not saying like out of control or anything like that. I'm saying direction-wise. I'm going all over the place. I'm not moving in the direction I should be moving when I once was. So I need to get back on track. I need to recommit, and I need to put in the effort and do the due diligence. I need to practice the 5 daily acts of kindness. I need, the mantra that I took up, borrowed or absconded with from Val. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. And many times small challenges arise that when you look at them in retrospect, they were just small. Driving in traffic, heading into the city or whatever to go to work in the morning, the way people drive aggressively and disrespectfully. And the bitch of it is they're not going to act like that outside of that metal box they're in, but they'll act like that in the car. Think nothing of it. Completely dehumanizing. And, it has at times in my life been really irritating to me. Why? I don't even know why. It's just, just this primal reaction, just no peace. Has to have something to do with it. And I started reciting this mantra every time. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. I've spoken on this before, and I would just repeat this over and over until it all dissipated, and I found a cool, calm, and collected place. And it worked. And it worked, especially if I'm diligent about it and I'm stubborn enough to actually do it every time. And it does several things. It makes it very real to me that, hey, I'm getting pretty aggravated far too often over shit that isn't anything to get aggravated over. And after I'd been doing this for a while, one day I just got in the car, went to work, and drove all the way to work before I finally realized, wow, I just had like a really peaceful drive. I didn't get aggravated at all. Had no effect on me, the way the other people behave or any of this kind of stuff. Just immune to it. So it works. It works for me. It worked. There's a lot of those kinds of things. The 5 daily random acts of kindness, no matter what they might be. It could be a kind word, or uplifting word, gesture of support or gratitude, or it could be anything above and beyond what you would normally do, or other, in addition to what you would normally do. It could be holding a door for someone. And I know you guys hold doors for people, I hold doors for people, but not everybody does. Some people just let a door drop right on you, like you don't even exist. So if you don't think about that kind of thing, then it could even be there. You could start there. It could be anything. It could be helping an older person or an infirm person with their groceries, loading them in the car, take their cart back for them, or whatever. It could be any damn thing. It depends on where you are, how far along you are. But this is kind of like a road. You create these inroads to tranquility and to peace and to happiness. And the road has to be maintained. Has to be maintained. You can't take it for granted. And that's what I've done. That's what I've done. And the probably the biggest reason that things went that way is I was lost. I didn't really know, where do I go now? Who am I now? What is my role? What am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to do? And anybody that, if you haven't been watching me or these videos, and you don't know what the hell I'm referring to, year ago, this month, I moved out on my own, split up from a fairly long-term relationship that was awesome, you know. And I think that's what happened there, is that taken for granted and not maintaining that road, man. You know, building a road, you know, paving it nice and smooth, and then thinking that that's all there is to it. Now you don't have to pay it any attention, any time. You don't have to maintain it. You know, so this weekend, this just happens to be, I've made an appointment to go speak with the Silk Screener so I can get some new beanies, because I love those beanies, man. And I haven't had any for a while, old ones, ratty ones. So I get some new beanies, Gorilla with Cause beanies, and some new larger size tank tops, because 2X's, we've been out of those for a long time, and some other stuff. You know, it really helped me for a good while. It gave me something, kind of just set a standard to aspire to which to aspire. And I need that. I need that, you know, for me, I need to get my shit together. Need to get my shit together. And a lot of it has to do with, you know, where I come from. You know, my past. And everybody's got a past, man. I've heard tons of stories that are just, you know, it's incredible, the resiliency and tenacity of people, and the inner strength that they're able to come through. A lot of the things that they come through, come out on the other side a good person, a decent person, and actually, dare I say, better because of what they've had to live through. You know, and I think I've realized this for some time now. This just brings it all back into focus a little clearer. I've been realizing a lot of this shit for the past couple of months, and that's why I've made changes in my life, rearranging things. I've somewhere along the way, it seems that I've become, or I am, I don't even know where this happened along the way, but I've become, unfortunately, a guy that, if you needed me, you really needed me. And I could bring it, and I'll be there, man, like nobody. And I mean, literally, like nobody. And I'll fix things. I'll take care of it. Right? So I've always, well, for a long time, I've thought that was really worth more than it's worth. I felt like that I brought to the table a level of capability in certain regards that, I don't know, was worthwhile, or like in and of itself alone was worthwhile. And that's not so, because I kind of more or less became, like I said, the guy that if you needed me, you really needed me. You really needed me, you know, and you'd be damn glad I was there if you were in such a situation and we had such a relationship that I'll go to the wall. But when you didn't need me, which was the majority of the time, you really didn't need me, you know, and that's a sorrowful thing to have to realize, but it's true. It's true. Yeah. The working out and the putting on size and all this shit, this is just, it's just something I do to keep the stress down, and to, it's familiar to me. You know, it's familiar to me. It's what I do. It's part of my life. There's a lot of things I do, but it's part of my life. But I think that having lived the life that I have lived, which has been a hell of a life, it really honestly has. I'm very grateful, very thankful for the life I've lived. You know, and I've probably lived a dozen lives in this one lifetime. No bullshit. And I've seen and been and lived I'm not trying to, I don't want to sound boastful. I don't want to sound prideful at all. But, you know, in a lot of regards, I know factually, realistically, exactly where I fall. I know, because I've been there and lived it. I know. But that isn't a free ride through all other aspects of life, you know? So I need to man up and do my due diligence and maintain myself and my own quest or commitment, you know, to maintain good character. And I've let that slip, man. I've let that slip. Let it slip. The world will curve you in. And the world is, in my opinion, a shitstorm. And it's full of broken people that many don't want to face that they're broken. They just want to keep on going with all the distractionary measures and, you know, bullshit. And they like to share misery. A lot of people, not everybody, but you can't lose sight, I can't lose sight of the reality that there are really good people in the world. There are really good, kind, beautiful, wonderful people in the world. And that's who I need to be more like. Those people. You know, I didn't start out this way. You know my story. Most people know my story, or at least know some of it. You know, I was bullied. I was picked on. I had leg braces, all that bullshit when I was little. I had some physical issues, and I was accelerated in school, so I was small anyway, even for my age, and so I was really small because I was younger than everybody else in school and such. And this is back in the day where bullying was just considered a rite of passage, and not like today. Not the way they look at it today. Anyway, you know, so like back in the day, I had two choices as a child. I had two choices. I could either run from it, turn the other cheek, get hit in that one too, or I could learn how to fight. That's the choices that I figured were there for me at a young age. And you know, I learned how to fight. I was classically trained, spent many years thereafter, many years, decades. And it was a double-edged sword. It gave me a lot. It gave me freedom to move about without fear. It gave me confidence. It gave me some form of self-esteem, comfort, peace. But ultimately, along the way, especially once you have acquired some skill, or a pretty fair degree of skill, you figure out, or you learn, or you realize the truth that you learn to fight, or you learned to fight so that you don't have to fight. If you don't have that fear, if you already know what it is, then it's not the same. It's not the same threat. It's not, you know. But with me, it kind of went a little sideways, and you know. And I could get in more, but I'm not trying to sound prideful, and I don't want it to be interpreted that way. You know, like, oh, I'm a badass, I'm a tough guy, I've been in so many fights, and I've done this and I've done that. But you know, the truth of the matter is, I'm an old guy that's just finding my way like everybody else, and I don't know, I'm a fraction of what I used to be. As far as vitality and physicality, and you know. And I try to maintain all of that because, you know, it's not all bad. I try to maintain all of that because the truth, I do believe, is that the best weapon one can possess or keep at hand is one that you never need. I think that's preferable to finding yourself in need and not having. And I kind of became that tool, like, you know, this is part of what I bring to the table. I am that guy that proven and experienced that I'm going to handle whatever comes through the door. I'm going to handle whatever, you know, to the nth degree. I mean, there's no quit. But if that never happens, and God would hope that it never happens to me, to you, to any of us, that we never have to live through anything where that kind of thing is called for, then you can't, I don't know, the trade-off is that's not enough. That's there's a whole lot. It's not very well rounded at all. And in a relationship, any relationship, right? Any relationship, you need to, I need to, I'm not trying to give you advice because God knows I've fucked up a lot of stuff. I need to focus on all the things I'm not good at, or that I have become poor at, that maybe at one time I was decent at, a lot better at, that I was just a better guy. You know, that's what I need to work on. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop working out. I'm not going to stop working out. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop riding my bike. I'm not going to do that. You know, you got to have some things to keep yourself sane in this society. But I need to really keep my nose to the grindstone, and I need to remember that peace begins with me, and that I'm not that monkey. I'm not that monkey, right? You heard the saying, one monkey don't stop no show. Well, you begin to think that, hey, you're that one monkey. You're not that monkey. You're not that monkey. A lot of people say, it's very commonplace, it's on a gym wall somewhere, I guess it's Metroflex or whatever, you're not special, you're not special. Well, I think that's fucking bullshit. We're all individuals, and we all possess the ability to be special in our own way, in our own world, to others. But none of us are that monkey. That's what we have to remember. It's It's not a license. Whatever it is you bring to the table, it's not a license. You know, that states that you're that one monkey. You're not. You're not that one monkey. As proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding. I've been here a year now, and now I am here by myself. And that's the way that it really needs to be. That's the way it really needs to be, because I got to start back from scratch, which I didn't do. I didn't do that yet, and that's what I need to do, man. I got to get my shit back together, my head back in the right place, and really focus on what really matters, and that is how you are remembered, the footprint that you leave. And exactly like this brother states, and I have said it before myself, if you drop dead tomorrow, man, how will people reflect upon you, having known you? How did you touch their lives? In what way? Are there more people that will say, than there are people that would say, man, he was a really good person, or she was a really good person? I'm going to miss that person. The world needs more people like that. That's the highest compliment. Will you be thought of, in a kind way, in a good way? And by how many? By who? By anybody? Or will they just scrawl on your tombstone, he thought he was that monkey. But guess what? It's gone, and the circus still goes on. Anyway, that's all. That's all. And I apologize if this video has been a waste of anybody's time. If you don't know what in the hell I'm talking about, tomorrow night we'll just talk about current events and all the bodybuilders that are now deceased and have passed away recently, and what you might want to do to stay alive. What might be able to help. Who knows? Who the hell knows anyway, right? What do we really know? What do we really know? Not a hell of a lot. All right, man. You guys take care. I hope you're having an awesome evening.